So, welcome to episode 4, man. You're episode 4.
Happy to be on it, dude.
And to be honest, it's my fault because I've been in and out of the country and we've been busy and it's been a long time coming. You were supposed to be episode 3.
Yep.
And I think 4 came weeks later. It's been a long scheduling, but we finally did it.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell them what type of workout you put me through. And also introduce yourself, man.
Hey everyone, I'm Samie Savage. I'm a personal trainer, athletic coach here at All Else Fitness. I run my business, Samie Savage Personal Training and Athletics. I would say I started as more of an athletic trainer, so I'm a phys ed teacher, but I started coaching athletes in the weight room and had a love for sports and everything like that. So we put them through today. We did some arms and delts and really got pumped up, but before that we did a movement prep. And we just focused on like different patterns that worked on coordination, kind of getting your body a little more mobile, focused on the breathing, the core strength. We're stretching out our hips, we're rotating through to make sure that we stay loose. And
He killed me.
yeah, you crushed it though, bro.
He killed me. It was tough. So when it comes to those workouts and how you schedule these things,
Yep.
how do you figure out, one, when it's time to change a routine, and 2, when it's time to take a workout out that maybe, isn't focusing on a muscle as much as maybe another workout you just figured out? How do you find new information in a
Yeah.
field like that?
For myself or for clients?
That's a good question. Let's go for your clients.
All right, so for my clients, it's definitely the changes in the program are going to be dependent on the goal. So like, for example, if you come to me with like, you have knee pain, you want to get in better shape, what we're going to do is set up the first program as something that's going to like address why your knee's hurting, whether it's like a lack of mobility, a lack of muscular strength, a lack of like the ability to like ground through your foot and stay stable.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're going to pair that with kind of what we did today. We'll do the mobility and the movement stuff in the beginning, and then we'll move more into a real workout, so you're still getting that sense of like being out of breath, getting a sweat in, you're getting pumped up in your muscles, or you're doing a certain amount of cardio to also work like your strength, your aesthetics, your cardiovascular system, and other things like that. So whenever like we hit the goal, so let's say now your knee is not in pain anymore from like the work we've been doing, like the smaller scaled rehab-ish type work, now maybe we can up the ante and now you're on like the pendulum squat or the leg press or something a little more intense that actually stresses like the muscle more and allows you to like just keep progressing, whether it's building strength, building the size of a muscle, like trying to lean out, whatever. So I view it on like a continuum, and if you're like really broken and down here, we just have to take little steps and little goals to get you to where you want to be.
Okay.
And my main goal for everyone is to improve their quality of life by allowing them to perform in life. So let's say you're like a dad and you have 4 kids and you have knee injuries from the past that don't allow you to like go up and down and like get those kids active and run around with them. That's our end goal. Like that's your performance in life, and we're gonna do stuff in the gym that allows you to really like ground in that and perform in that.
Okay. So in that continuum, in terms of you're looking at all your clients, we don't gotta drop the names of these clients, but you got, let's say hypothetically, the data 4.
Yep.
What do you have somebody else who's in a different playing field where maybe their goal is to be in a much more competitive nature? And how do you differentiate the lifestyles for 2 of those people in 2 different scopes of life?
Yep.
And one's a lot more aggressive where maybe they are doing pendulum squats or even deadlifting, where now you're like, hey, this workout is a lot more rigorous and the risk reward is a lot higher. In terms of your routine and how you prep people for their lifestyle and comfort, how do you delegate whether or not somebody is ready to take that next step? And has anyone ever asked you like, hey, I've been training with you for a while, I want to get to that next step? How do you switch those gears from that person?
That's a great question. I think a lot of it, dude, is honestly just open communication, keeping the data on them. And it's really just my job as a trainer is to kind of make that decision for them. Like people don't want to think when they come to me, like they want to give me their goal and where they want to be, and it's my job to kind of set the plan for them and have them stick to the plan. But you do sometimes, like you'll have someone who's like, hey, I want to take the next step, like I'm feeling better now. I want to get leaner. I want to grow certain muscle size. Like I want to do more jumps, more med ball slams. I want to be able to like run again. So I think the biggest part though is just the open communication with your client, man. It's like any relationship, really.
Yeah.
It's so they're coming to me for a service to get them somewhere, and I have to do my part of making them feel comfortable enough to kind of express that and feel open with me. But at the end of the day too, it's also, you got to hit the goals. Like when you hit one goal with them, I feel like people then want to strive towards something else.
Yeah, it's it's like a hamster wheel of satisfaction. Like you're always gonna wanna continue.
But you're not gonna get there if you're stuck in the same spot.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna want to. You can't. Your mind can't even conceptualize level 3 sometimes until like you actually get to level 2, and you're like, oh man, I can actually do this without my knee hurting for the first time in years. And then it's like, what else can I do again? Like.
Yeah. So you allow people to feel, I guess, that freedom again of finally being able to feel like their body's working the way it should be.
Yeah.
In every aspect of whatever life that they want to go through, whether they want to take the gym serious or maybe they just want to not feel joint pain anymore and mobility. That's really cool. But you are also tapped into that lifestyle. You have a history of bodybuilding.
Yep.
And you've worked out. How did we get here? So now we know Samie the trainer. Who is Samie?
So it's been a long journey getting here, and I think the variety in the stuff I've done and where I've been and what I've been through is what allows me to help like a wide variety of people and stuff like that. So like I started off as kind of an overweight kid. Like I was 205 pounds in the 7th grade, and I started playing sports in middle school, but I was super unathletic. So kind of my first journey when I started working out and hitting the gym in the 8th grade was I wanted to, one, look better and feel better, because obviously being a fat kid like sucks. Like you get made fun of in school and stuff, and like I just remember not feeling good sometimes. So the first goal was like, okay, I want to get better at football and wrestling, and then like I want to get super jacked. So that was like the first goal. So then like I kind of accomplished those things. I was a good football and wrestling athlete in high school. But then I started getting injured a bunch. Like in high school, I've had everything from torn ACL, torn meniscus. I had 2 knee surgeries.
That'll do it.
Twisted my ankle really bad, multiple like hamstring pulls and stuff. And then going into college, man, it's like I dealt with a broken back through wrestling. I dealt with a couple really bad drunk injuries, which is its own story. So kind of dealing with that.
You're just running through walls, dude.
Yeah, no, legit. My shoulder right here, I dislocated my AC joint wicked bad my sophomore year of wrestling, just being an idiot. And I strained my knee being an idiot, the same knee I tore both things in.
Yeah. You were out of commission for a while, I'm assuming.
A while, man. So it's like part of the injuries and all the people that helped me to come back from those injuries, like the physical therapists, my athletic trainers at Springfield, my high school athletic trainers. You just pick up a lot of knowledge from these people as you go along that's allowed me to help people now. And even just like going through like a little bit of that substance abuse and like not liking who I was and making awful decisions when my main goal was like wrestling and being an athlete and being at the top level and stuff like that. You learn a lot of different things, both mentally and physically, about yourself, and it kind of allows you to help other people more. So I would say my last major injury was that one at the end of college, and I used to be definitely more into the heavy weightlifting and stuff in college. Like I was deadlifting 600 at certain points, like squatting
600.
5. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So like that phase of my injuries, I think is really what motivated me to kind of help people like that as I got older. And like I've done a lot of continuing education and corrective exercise and like breathing techniques, and even a lot of my mentors now have helped me to understand more about like the recovery process and just the body in general. And then post-college got more into, like I said, I'm a phys ed teacher. So after I stopped wrestling, I kind of got lighter and I focused a lot more on just like general fitness. Like I was still training in the gym, but I was doing a bunch of cardio. I got into hiking. I used to like to do a lot more yoga and stuff like that.
Hiking is underrated. Hiking is very underrated. So, question though, in terms of these injuries and countless injuries you've been privy to, what do you, as an athlete and as a trainer now, what did these injuries teach you? And how did these injuries in your life kind of bring you to the person you are right now? Whether it's physically or emotionally, like you said, substance abuse as well.
Well, I think mentally, dude, they just taught me, just like to never give up. Like even when like I tore my ACL, for example, like there's just a little voice in my head that knew like I'm gonna be back. Like this isn't the end for me. And I think that's a personal thing. Like I don't know if everyone has that, but I believe everyone has access to that. And then
tap into that.
Yeah. So like my philosophy, dude, is like the physical body heals very well. Like it's amazing now with like the surgeons we have, the access to knowledge, the resources, like how the physical tissue and stuff heals. I think for a lot of people, when you go through injury, it's a lot more the mental trauma of it that holds you back and stops you from getting back physically in the long run, because I think it's harder mentally than anything, dude. Like when you're a high level athlete, then you're sidelined for like months and you can't do what you used to do, and like you're top dog and the next second you're nothing because like you don't have that outlet anymore. So it's a lot more to it than even just the trauma of the injury. It's very psychological. It's like it changes your whole life, man. And I don't think a lot of people who deal with that have someone in their life that like positively tells them like, hey, you might not be the same, but like you also don't have to be this injured, broken person. Like you can get back to a level of performance and mentality that like you're happy with. Like you don't gotta be scared of moving your whole life or tearing your knee again or tweaking your back again. So I think the biggest thing is just the mental capacity we have and how much power we have up here. And like that's the main part of healing from these injuries. But it takes a team, man. Like I would not be here if I didn't have like my family first and foremost, the people around me during these injuries who supported me and gave me what I needed, my medical team everywhere from, like I said, the athletic trainers to the physical therapists, my current coaches who helped me to like really take my physiology and my body to the next level. It's a journey, it's a long journey, but I think people need to understand that it's not gonna happen overnight, but you can get back to a level you didn't think was possible.
In your industry, your job is to essentially create plans and steps to move forward for everybody else.
Yep.
How does that affect the plans and steps that you set for yourself? And what is the next plan?
So me personally, man, it's just, I do a lot better in life when I have an athletic goal and something that causes me, like I love competing, dude. And I found that love through wrestling and football as a young kid. And it's transitioned to everything from like hiking 20 miles in the White Mountains to now bodybuilding. I think one, I'm proud of myself for like never giving up. Like I think part of the reason I was able to heal from all these injuries is because in my mind I always set like the next goal of something I wanted to accomplish, and that's kind of spurred me to get to the next level. But it's just I need something. I don't need it. It just I feel like my life's a lot better when I have something I'm working towards, something that keeps me disciplined, something that makes me have to have my time management in order. It just fires me up, man. Like it makes me want to be better. Like when I'm really killing it and like right now bodybuilding and like I'm eating my meals, I'm training hard in the gym, I'm doing my recovery, I'm taking the time to manage my life and stuff. It helps me in everything else. Like I feel like I'm better in my relationship. I feel like I'm better for my clients. I feel like I'm better for my students at school. And I think a lot of people, part of that healing process from the injuries is like mentally tapping into something that like motivates you and that like inspires yourself to keep going.
And actually we spoke about this slightly before when we were working out, and you touched upon it now. The emotional support in your life.
Huge.
You've spoken a lot, especially about your fiance and how you guys met, which I'll let you tell everybody that cool story.
Yep.
How you guys met, but also after, I want to know how much of that emotional support shaped who you are right now.
Well, I think even before my fiance, man, like I have the most loving family. Like my mom, my dad.
You have a big family?
Siblings, yeah.
That's cool.
So my mom, my dad, well, it's still huge. Like my dad has 12 brothers and sisters. But like I said, he was born in Lebanon, he's Palestinian. They're all over the world. Like we have some in the US, there's a lot overseas in the Middle East. Like they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
But I have 3 siblings too, 3 older siblings.
Brothers, sisters?
2 brothers, 1 sister.
Okay. You got a good come up.
Yeah,
A
no.
couple bullying, a couple
Legit.
a couple like feminine energy in the house. That's really cool.
But I think too, part of what helped me to heal from injuries and just anything in life, dude, is just like the amount of love I've gotten from them. You know, I think no matter what you go through in life, if you have people who genuinely love you and support you, it's like that's what sets apart like the 2 roads you go down. Like you have the traumatic incident, no matter what it may be. It's like, are you gonna try and fight towards like getting better, or are you gonna fall down that path of like bad decisions? And I feel like love is that driving factor from the people around you that allows you to make better decisions, because you feel like there's people that care and there's people that are helping you along the way. So when it comes to like my fiance, like Kirsten, that's an extension of that. Like she's added a whole other level, and it's different. Like the love you get from your family and your siblings is different from the love you get from your mom and your dad, is different from the love you get from your fiance. But I feel like all of them help to play a role in like getting to the next level and like wanting to be better and allowing you mentally to just unlock these new levels in your mind, like stuff you couldn't thought you'd do before, reasons to keep growing your business or to keep going in bodybuilding, or to like even just be a better human being, like more mindful, more reasonable, less reactive.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think just kind of hearing you right now, it's an amazing thing that you've managed to receive so much love in all these aspects of your life, even when things in your life wasn't going as great, you know, whether it was mentally or obviously physically. I think, do you feel that has a ripple effect on children and how you would treat your children and how that would go about, in the sense of everybody in your life set the tone?
100%, dude. Like I am so blessed to have the family that I have, and I understand how lucky I am to have like this support, because I see so many people that don't have that. And a lot of people that come from where I come from that don't have that either. But I think it plays everything, man. Like we're products of our environment, and I think a lot of my mission now for wanting to help people, like being a phys ed teacher, trying to help kids, trying to help people in the gym like reclaim their lives and dealt with stuff that I dealt with, like a lot of it is spurred because I had people telling me when I was young, like, hey, you can do this, like you're worth this, like you know. And I don't think everyone has that, and it's hard, you know. I can't imagine what it's like to want to do something and not have someone support you. So dude, I thank God every day that I have like the upbringing I have, and I come from a family like like I said, both of my parents are immigrants. My mom came from Greece, my dad came from the Middle East, and he grew up in Lebanon. So I think it's a mixture of like the love and support you get, and also knowing where they come from. And it just really motivates me to just bring more peace into the world, man. You know, like my dad comes from an area where like, you know, you get killed just for being what you are. And there's a lot of people where he comes from that never even have a chance to experience any form of life. Like it's so sad, man. So it's like knowing that where they come from, knowing how my mom came here because there was also war and like economic problems in Greece. And like out of just the oblivion, like these 2 people met in America in the same spot.
That's interesting.
And like I just popped out. So I do feel like I gotta give, man. I gotta give more. I gotta give love. I gotta help people. It's a really big driver for me, and part of what I do with bodybuilding is because like I see an opportunity to create a platform in which I can give back more one day. Like I've slowly been building more, and like my reach has been big so far. Like I've helped a lot of people, but I want to help even more, you know, and I want to create more opportunity, and I want to give people more inspiration and more hope. And like, you know, same way, even though I have my family and all the love from there, it's like there's also so many people I don't even know, like athletes and other prominent figures who have inspired me to keep going. Like for my ACL, for example, I watched an Adrian Peterson video. Do you know Adrian Peterson?
I've heard of him. I know him by name.
So Adrian Peterson was an NFL running back who tore his ACL and MCL, I think. He tore 2 or 3 ligaments in his knee, similar to me. And he came back the next year after 9 months and won the MVP and damn near broke Eric Dickerson's rushing title record.
So he doubled back. He came back and just forced it.
So I was watching this video almost every day after I tore my ACL going into college, man. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, what if one day, like I'm inspiring people within my scope right now and I'm helping the students and I'm helping other like people in the business, but
Yeah.
you know, what if I could help even more by having that platform, like someone else seeing even this interview and being like, oh shit, I also tore my knee.
Yeah.
Or like, oh shit, I also like drank 30 beers in college for no reason.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm struggling with that.
Yeah.
Like,
I got two questions, and it might be hard ones, but they're two questions that are a bit of a contrast. One, how do you deal with those circumstances where you realize you can't help everybody? And then two, how do you feel when, let's say, you're chilling at the house and you get a text message from somebody maybe you didn't know or realize you had an impact on them,
yeah.
and they make you feel like you're doing this for a reason? Those two feelings.
Well, I think just the nature of the universe, dude, is like, one, I've come to peace, like I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And like everyone that I've worked with, I haven't helped. Like there's been a lot of people that I haven't helped out, or people that have come to me and paid me that it hasn't worked out the way I planned it to. And I think it's for a lot of reasons. I think sometimes it's the compatibility isn't right. Like I think there's someone for everyone. And as much as I can reach a wide variety of people, there's also some circumstances in which it doesn't work out. And sometimes it's me, sometimes it's them, sometimes it's a combination.
It's a relationship.
Yeah, and I used to get really down on that because even like certain relationships in my own life in the past, like I've thought about it for a while, but I think it just takes some personal healing. Like you have to really meditate on it and like write about it and, you know, pray on it, whatever you do. But you can't help everyone, man, and you also can't feel bad about yourself and what you do for not helping everyone. Because like you said, on the other side, there's also so many people that I've actually been able to reach and actually been able to help. And it feels really good, man. You know, I think it's motivation. You know, like I have a vision, I do what I do, I think mostly because I genuinely just love doing it.
Yeah.
And I think regardless if I ever got text from someone on either way, I'd still do what I do just because like I have a feeling it's right to do at the moment. But they definitely help because sometimes you get a message from someone or someone reaches out and you're just like, damn, like,
I didn't know.
yeah, I did not know. And that's a really cool feeling, man. It's once again, I'm blessed to be in a position to where I can have that influence over someone. And just being through it in the past, like being hurt or being out of shape or being in like a bad mental state, it's just like I know how good it feels to get out of that.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool to be inspiring other people in that area too.
And so, with all that, right, what is your next step? Like, do you have a vision, I guess, an all-time vision of where you want this to be? Do you want one day your own gym or your own facility? What are you looking for?
My end game, dude, I want to be on a big piece of land next to a river and mountains with my fiance and maybe future family, and she wants chickens and everything. And
A farm.
yeah, so that's what I see, man. I want to be able to sit back one day and just
I see the lumberjack aesthetic. You could do that. You don't gotta do the suspenders and stuff.
I know.
Just chopping wood, staying strong.
that's my piece though, dude. Like at the end of the day when I sit back, like, and what I would like love to do, like I'd love to just sit there and just like connect like with the people that I love and just because as much as I love like doing this and I guess short-term game, like in terms of growing my personal training business and getting to a higher level in bodybuilding, like I think that's a certain purpose and a mission in my life. But that's also a very finite purpose and mission, you know, like for bodybuilding, for example, like competing and trying to get to a level to where I can make more revenue and inspire more people from it. I only really have 10 to 12 more years of my life to do that. And like training people is something I think I'm gonna do forever to certain scales. But, you know, I think when it really comes down to it, I just wanna be in a point in my life where there's just more peace. Like, I love doing what I'm doing, but it's hard, man. It's hard to work this hard, and I'm sure you feel this way too with what you're trying to build and your creative visions. And it's like, it takes a toll, man. It's very stressful, but like there's a lot of purpose in it, and I feel like I was genuinely called to do this just through all the events in my life and the roads I've been down. So like end game short term, man, I want to be, like I said, in a position bodybuilding wise to where I can have a platform to give more voice to the things I deem important. and I want to be able to grow my business to a point financially to where like I have a lot more freedom and peace, like I said, to maybe buy that plot of land. And then one day it would just be nice to sit back sooner than later, because I love being out in nature, dude. That's my peace. Like, my love is, I love mountains. I love just the no phones, the no internet, like the lake, the river, they're just soaking in there, like talking with like my family and just sitting down, having some coffee, like eating good food, clean food. That's like my vision, man. I would love nothing more in life than that. But it's also, you don't just get that right away. I wasn't given that hand in life. Like, I come from 2 immigrants who legit had nothing. Like, I started from ground zero, and they have worked so much to get me to a point to where I can even like build a life and get to where I need to be. And you know, I just want that peace one day, but at the same time, like, give back to the world. And I'm sure then, like, when I'm in that state of my life, when I get there, like, I'll find another way to give back and stay productive. I'm sure I can't just not do anything forever, but
well, I guess that brings me to my next question. You obviously, the mind of an athlete, the mind of a trainer, your mind is constantly at this physical war, right? How often do you get to be the samurai in the garden? How often do you get to relax?
Not as often recently. The past 3 years have definitely been a grind. I think I could do a better job of that in my life. I think that's definitely something that I'm not giving as much time towards right now. Just for myself and even my relationship, like Kirsten too, my fiance, she grinds. Like, she's a grinder. She works so hard.
You told me how you guys met was just she's going to class after class after class, and that's why you're like,
so
she's amazing.
Quick side story real quick. Me and her met when I worked at a gym, Drive Custom Fit up the street. And I was a group trainer there. That was my first like personal training job. I taught group classes, I worked with athletes, etc. But I remember her coming to my classes, and obviously you have the, you know, you see someone and they get your eye and your interest. But then I was talking to her one day after like a 95-degree heated class. She was in there for an hour. And then I'm like, oh, where are you going now? She's like, oh, I'm going to the turf to do another class. And like, no one else at that gym does that, dude. So immediately I was like very intrigued by like the, oh man, like this chick works really hard. And so then like a month later, so I asked her for a number after a class. I didn't get it yet.
I was like, I remember you told me. She said no. Do you know why?
It's a long story, more personal stuff that I don't think I should get into here. But then we ended up going on a date like 6 months later. Didn't really go well. I think both of us were in a bad mental spot. And then 6 months after that, the next summer, we kind of reconnected and, you know, turned into something really beautiful. It was almost like the first date. Like, I was like, yep, you know, this is the one. And like I said, since then, it's been crazy, man. You know, my life's elevated so much, and I feel like I've grown so much as just like a person by having her in my life, and all the love and the challenges and like the tribulations that we go through together. And it's really something amazing, dude. Like, once again, I just don't know why I was blessed like this, and but I take it very seriously, and I feel like, I don't know, God gave me a lot, and I just try and give it forward. What was the original question?
So, with that, right, and the constant physical war, samurai in the garden.
I think there's just a certain time right now in my life these past few years to where that luxury isn't going to be as available. And there's a lot of stuff too, even just like last year we went to 6 weddings. This year we have like 3 more weddings.
You're in wedding era.
We are, and sometimes there's just a lot you have to do for other people, and you're not going to have as much of that time. And I struggled with it a little bit a year ago, but we also still find time. You know, like this week we were able to go to the beach together and chill for a bit, and like we went at a walk at Winnie Kinney and Haverhill. So I think we could do a better job, especially as the summer's coming up, of getting outside. Like, that's my peace, being in nature and chilling and being away from the phone. But also too, at the same time, I understand I'm young right now, and I have a finite time to make this vision a reality and to really grind it out. And, you know, I'm very true to that, and this is a worthy sacrifice I'm willing to make. For what it's worth too, we're going to be going to California this summer, so that's one little.
Which part?
My sister and brother live in LA.
That's really cool.
So we're gonna be down in Southern California and hopefully get some time alone to like get somewhere on the beach or something and chill out.
The traffic in LA is horrible, by the way.
It's awful. I would never live there. God
Oh, you've
bless
been
it.
there before?
Yeah, a few times.
I've always wanted to go to Cali. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a kind of domestic goal, like domestic flight goal to go to Cali.
California's beautiful, man. I would love to live out there if it wasn't for insane prices and some other things, but definitely get out there if you can.
I know.
But yeah, man, I think one thing I do though, I will say, is I'm very big into my own like meditation and prayer. Like,
yeah, actually, speak a lot more about that. Meditation and prayer for sure. That's kind of your access right now to peace.
Yeah.
Right now.
So
has it been something you've always been good at? Do you write? Do you journal? How do you do it?
In college, I went through definitely a lot more troubled mental state, and I started meditating and like learning some different aspects of that through various means to kind of, I don't know, I've always been interested in mastering your mind and like mentally getting to a certain point. And that brought me a lot of peace, man, when you stopped attaching yourself to a lot of the thoughts that you have and you start to observe more. And it takes a lot of acceptance too, because like your ego gets very attached and very insecure and very scared of things. So when you kind of master the ability to almost detach yourself from that and just accept life for what it is, because life is crazy, man. Like when I sit back and I think about it, just the fact of how everything works, like, and you get a lot of this in nature when you're just staring out into like the mountain range and you're just sitting there like contemplating like what this all is and like the higher power. And so anyway, kind of meditating allows you to detach a little bit from the very human egotistical view and like the fear and the insecurity that we all have.
Mind and body, the detachment, right?
Yeah, it's because it's like it's separate, but it's also the same, you know? And it doesn't mean I don't feel those feelings anymore. Like I still feel fear, I still get insecure, I still have like my ego run rampant sometimes, but it's the ability to detach from that quicker and sooner than later. So I got into that in college, and I think after college I started journaling a lot, which helped me to see more of like my thought processes and like everything from like why I do what I do and like diving deeply into the mind. And then I don't know, I got more into like prayer and stuff and sending out positive energy into the world, because I truly think like
that is really cool.
It's like you can't see it, but like I think positive thoughts and like wishing someone well goes a long way. Like there's so many ways to pray depending on what religion you were brought up in. I think for me a lot of it is like just trying to be intentional, whether it's for thoughts about myself or attributes I'd like to get, or sending like wishes to people, or trying to help like wish people well in the tribulations that they're going through. But I find a lot of peace in that, man. So like every night right now, I sit down, I like either kind of sit in like that little knee position where I'm on my heels to the butt, or I like go cross-legged for a bit and I have a little mat that I use. And meditation is more when my mind's going really fast and I need to just clear it out and just not really think. And then I try and do some prayer after, where you're just, like I said, just wishing well into the universe, or you're asking for like the strength or the wisdom or the courage to like achieve the things that you want to achieve in this life. So, and it's different for everyone. I think everyone should have some sort of like introspective practice, whether it's journaling, writing, meditating, prayer, reading like scripture, whatever it may be for them. Because I think there's so many paths to, you know, I wouldn't say enlightenment, but like connecting with God and connecting with the universe, whatever that is in your mind. Like there's a lot of different paths to get there. You don't have to do the same thing. But that's my peace right now, man. So every night I just am able to reset, and every morning I try and like, if I have the time, I'll do a little bit of it. But my mornings, I honestly wake up ready to go. So I'm like, let's get after this. And yeah, just over the years, it's refined, and a lot of it becomes subconscious. So like there's some things I don't need to think about anymore that just happen. But it's a very important part of my life, man. I think it's played a big role in allowing me to get to where I am right now. And I know it's going to play a big role in accomplishing more of what I want to in the future, both business-wise, bodybuilding-wise, and even just like becoming the person I want to be for my family and for my fiance. And
I mean, with all that we've spoken about, even throughout this whole entire like training session, and now it seems like you have a good yin and yang balance of war and peace going on in your life. Where now war is more like the training and the getting to it and waking up and drinking the cold brews and lifting and getting right? And
Yeah.
then when things get a little foggy and a little crazy, you're able to go home and decompress either with the people around you that love you or with yourself. You loving yourself and clearing up that mind and
Yeah.
being able to sit in it, detangle, and clear up everything. And I think that is a strength that people don't, people can do one or the other very well.
Yeah.
Being able to do both is an amazing feat. And I think that's something that honestly I give you props for, because again, that is a struggle. I struggle with it. You know, the
We all
idea
do.
of doing those two things. And obviously I would assume that it's constant work. You know, it's
Yeah.
not perfect, and you know, you're still figuring those things out and trying to be proficient in both. But the fact that you're doing these things constantly and you have that mantra for yourself
Yeah.
in your mind all the time, like that's tough. So I do give you props, man. That's tough. I thought the workout was tough, but but that mentality and constantly, I guess, figuring out those rules and restrictions for yourself in order to have a fulfillment in your life.
Yeah.
That's tough. Has it been, was it tougher before or was it easier before? How does it fluctuate in your life in order to do both of those things?
It's a good question. I think it's kind of dissociating from easy and hard. You know, it's not like for example, my life's tougher now than it was per se when I was going through my worst mental states a few years ago. Like just objectively, I have way more responsibility now. I'm working a lot harder now. But at the same time too, it's more fulfilling. Like it's easier.
Yeah.
And it's taken a lot of work, man. Like I've put in a lot of time into trying to master my mind. And like I said, it started from a kid, dude. Like I wouldn't even be able to be here if it wasn't for like my family and the way I was raised and just having those like beliefs and knowing what I know about the world from them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think a big driver for me, dude, I get very inspired by all the people in the world that don't have an opportunity. And I'm sitting here in America and like
Just
I have
yeah.
availability to so much. Like
Yeah.
that it's like it hurts me sometimes to like not do something that I love to do, and that's a big driver for me. But it takes time, man. Like my ability to master my mind now, and like I said, I'm not perfect. There's some nights where I'm definitely more grumpy and like cranky to my girlfriend or not girlfriend, fiance, and my mom and stuff like that, and other people. And there's some days where I feel like I'm a rock star. So like I'm not perfect either, but I've developed that like muscle in my brain to be able to mentally get to the mental state I want to be in. And a big part of that's just I believe in the moment to moment. Like we get in certain mindsets depending on what happens to us and the stimulus we get that sends us on these rampant loops in our head of insecurity and fear that like we've developed since we were younger, and they're really hard to break out of. But I'm really big on like moment to moment. Like one of my biggest struggles right now is teaching. Like teaching's a pretty hard job when you're dealing with kids all day, and like it's also too like I really love what I do with my business and stuff, and sometimes I catch myself just like I want to be done with this day. I want to be at the weekend. I want to be
Your crash rate's a
training.
lot higher in both industries.
Yeah.
Your crash rate is high. With kids, it's just a mental thing.
It's hard.
And then, you know, sometimes you have days where you don't want to go to the gym, maybe, and especially you don't want to go and train. You know, so yeah.
So it's like, no, you're right, man. Like, and you're trying to like, oh, when's this session's done? When's this? So when I think like that, I just try and just get back in the moment, like. And like each moment is truly a blessing. Like there's so many other people that would love to be in the position that you're in right now, dude. And it's like I try and remind myself that, and I try and remind myself of the importance and like the heaviness of how important some of these moments are, dude. Like you can literally change a kid's life just by like being there and like not trying to rush the conversation, but genuinely getting back into it and reminding yourself like how important the moment is and like how much these kids need someone to talk to. The same way where if I'm ever in a session, I start thinking about my training or getting out of the session, it's like not only is this person paying me good money for this session, but it's also like you can genuinely change their lives just by being like tapped into it and like actually present and back in the moment. So I call it rewiring and resetting, man. Like whenever you let your mind get the best of you and you're wandering and you're in the next thing, which there's a time for that. There's a time for the planning and everything like that. But when you're in the moment of doing your craft and doing something important, you got to just bring yourself back, man. And I find there's a lot of peace in that, and it just makes everything better.
Yeah.
Like it takes away the anxiety and the fear, and it actually allows you to give back in this like condition that we're in, man, because this life's not granted, and it's like you only have a finite time to be living.
Yeah.
And it's like at the end of your life, if you were going to get a whole movie of your life and you saw all the moments you were disengaged and all the impact you could have had if you just tapped back into those moments. So yeah, I think it's just no matter how big or small, dude, especially when you're dealing with relationships and people, it's like all those moments are so damn important. And like I'm very motivated to just always be the best that I can be.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm not always the best, dude. Like there's lots of moments where I could be better.
Yeah.
But it's just working that, like I said, muscle in your mind to where you're tapping back into it and you're getting back to the purpose. And
yeah, I mean, where it's funny that you say the thing about the whole your life in a movie and the chapters and all of these things, and I think it's a very healthy thing to look at your life as chapters and plots and the resolutions and moving on to a new chapter, and it allows you to stay in that moment where you can live in a moment and you can stay 10 toes down and be here and be present and be aware, right? I think that's where a lot of people struggle in, is that they see the end of the book and they don't live in where they're at in that certain page. But obviously, you're a trainer here. And I see you often. A lot of people probably see you often if they go here. How do people get in contact with you, whether it's through a session or just wanting to get information?
Okay, so contact me, message me on Instagram. We'll put my email and my phone number out there too, if that works better for you. But I offer in-person personal training here at All Else Fitness. I work really well with people who are maybe former athletes and have injuries and are trying to get back in a really good shape and lift pain-free. I also work with a lot of parents who just want to like maximize their ability to improve their quality of life, be there for their kids, or just kind of get rid of those aches and pains that the stress of life brings upon you, with at the same time getting into better shape. Also a bodybuilder, work with athletic stuff like that. So if that's something that interests you too, I'm here for you. Yes, sir.
My arms hurt. I'm shaking, dude.
I also offer online coaching consultations if you'd like to do something more remote. And I'm a certified strength conditioning specialist, been a lifelong athlete. I have certifications in corrective exercise, a lot of continuing education and rehabilitation type stuff. So if you're looking to look good, feel better, unlock that inner savage, I'm your guy. And lastly, I just want to shout out Kyle. I've been running my own business for 3 years now independently. And this is the best gym I've been able to train out of. Just the cleanliness of it, the amount of space that I have, the multi-dimensional between the turf and the ability to do functional stuff, corrective stuff with my clients, and then go to the arsenal equipment and just absolutely get after it. It's been one of the biggest blessings this year. So very thankful. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for being episode 4, man. We did it. My arms will hurt tomorrow.
But you're going to be moving better, too.
We're going to be moving better, so thank you. And yeah, man, I
appreciate you, bro.
No bullshit, man. Thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah.